The fight against plastic pollution requires action, not words. I'll be telling you about how does plastic affect our environment and what we can do to stop it. We'll first talk about how plastic disturbs the food chain. Plastic easily binds into prepared animal food, as using plastic for packaging could add toxic elements, no matter what condition or state the food is in. When plastic ends up in an environment, it is functioned to bind with environmental pollutants. This can lead to illness to both humans and animals. For example, if a fish that's wrapped or has plastic in it gets eaten by a shark, the shark could die, leading towards extinction, as the plastic would affect the body of the shark, making it sick. So this can also be known as bioaccumulation, when energy from one mammal to another is being transferred. And in beaches, you'd normally find birds and turtles eating plastic on the surface. Next, we're going to be talking about underwater pollution. Underwater animals and sea life are very prime suspects to being trapped and gaining toxic elements from plastic. This is because many people end up throwing plastic in the water to try and make Earth neater, but it just puts the sea life in danger. Plastic in the ocean can be found in two places: the ocean floor or on animals. The deep sea is almost a sink to a plastic. As plastic goes down, chemical and physical changes occur to plastic, therefore affecting the biota and ecosystems of the ocean badly. This will lead to illness, death, and extinction to sea animals. This is what underwater pollution looks like on screen. Plastic pollution on land. This is pollution on land, called dry land plastic pollution, which is also known as terrestrial plastic pollution. This has normally occurred in soil, sediments, and freshwater sources. There appears to be a small amount of research, as we can't confirm the full effects on land compared to the ocean pollution. So we don't know much about land than the ocean. And so you can see a bunch of people trying to pick up plastics so they can recycle it and use it for a better cause. Next, we're going to be talking about intoxicated air. This is air that is largely affected by plastic molecules and particles. Plastic affects the air long before it reaches water or land. 99% of plastic comes from petrochemicals derived from fossil fuels. Also, oil and gas drilling lets toxic air contaminants affect the air, such as benzene, hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide, and more. This, however, isn't very visible. Unlike other types of air pollution, it's a serious threat to human health and should be taken seriously with care. This is a very dirty bag. Plastic also harms animals in cases. Some animals can get stuck to plastic and kill the animal. They can also breathe in air that contains harmful plastic elements and can also swallow plastic. The food chain can kill many other animals as well, because if an animal containing plastic is eaten, their energy is transferred to the predator, leading to death and so on. So it's saying about bioaccumulation that we've talked about at the very start. Plastic pollution creates constant threats to marine ecosystems and other life. Threat to human health. Before we talk about that, I just want to quickly point out this is a sea eating a broken plastic water bottle. So we need to take care and realize that we aren't the only living things alive, and we need to take care of other species as well. Threat to human health. Plastic is in the air with many toxic elements, one of them being carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is very fatal and deadly. This is because when you inhale carbon monoxide, it goes into your blood cells. Your blood cells prefer to bind with carbon monoxide than oxygen. Therefore, this leads to a lack of oxygen, which is also known as oxygen debt, and it can cause health issues and cramps. This is one of the many reasons why plastic is a threat to human health. So it shows the world before and after plastic, left to right. How does plastic impact the global economy? Plastic can be good and bad for the global economy, as plastic deliverers get economic benefits by transporting goods, which is packages that is made of plastic containing goods. However, a lot of resources and money is being used to prevent plastic pollution on land and in sea. This shows the global commitment of the United Nations from 2019 onwards. This is their progress report. How can we stop plastic pollution? There are many ways to stop plastic pollution in many different ways, such as stop buying water, cooking more often, recycling, and more. Let's talk about what each of these ways can be. Let's talk about how they work and how we can necessarily eliminate them. Buying plastic water will affect the ocean, as nearly 20 billion bottles are thrown into the ocean each year. Making your own meals can reduce the amount of bags or plastic containers used. Recycling is very important so that it can reduce pollution, and it saves a lot of energy. UN nations and leaders all around the world are trying to stop plastic pollution, and so are we humans. So we should say no to the plastic big four: bottles, bags, straws, and cups. The evolution of plastic. When plastic was first discovered, it was a miracle of a material. It was found by Alexander Parkes in 1862. Over time, plastic was starting to be used for packaging, and the table and yeah. Before we go on to the end, which is fun facts, I just want to say that it was quite amazing how plastic was meant to be amazing, as it was used for packaging and a load of other reasons, and now it turned into a constant human global threat to us. So, from my point of view, I think that we need to soon find a material that can replace plastic. So, without further ado, here are 5 fun facts. Okay, let's start. The biggest plastic polluters in the world are the Caribbean islands. Plastic takes 20 years to decompose. More than 100,000 seabirds die from plastic indigestion. 20,000 bottles are bought every second. Only less than 14% of plastic is actually recycled. And 73% of beach litter is plastic. Plastic lasts in sea and land for a very long time because it takes quite a long time to decompose. It can take up to 500 years. So just imagine throwing a bottle in the sea and waiting 500 years in the deep ocean, waiting for it to rot. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed learning about how plastic affects the environment, and we shall take action to stop plastic pollution.